welcome to the Nurse's Corner. Today, I will be... Nurse's Corner. Of starting in COVID. All of the information to help you stay healthy. Sizer. No. I'm just gonna take that out. Why do I still have that written in here? Hi everybody, and welcome to the Nurse's Corner. This week we're going to be talking about how our facilities crew, along with our students and our teachers, are going to be keeping our building as healthy as possible. One very important thing about fighting COVID is the environment that we live in and making sure that the virus isn't able to live on any of the surfaces. So joining us today to talk about how we are going to be managing that, both through our air quality and also the surfaces that we all interact with, is Bill Claybaugh. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to go up onto the roof and go meet Bill to talk about our air system, and then we'll be going back downstairs to talk about what we'll be using to clean the bathrooms, the classrooms, and all of the other spaces that we'll be interacting every day with.
Hi, Bill Claybaugh, Facility Director for Sizer. Good morning, and if you're looking at me, it means you're either in the gym or at home and you're in training. For whatever capacity that includes, welcome back. It's great to have you. My purpose this morning, and hey, guess what? Let's take this off because Liz is 10 feet away and we're on the outside.
Hello!
Hi Liz, thanks for doing this. My purpose here is to explain HRU 1, Heating Recovery Unit 1, which services 75% of our activities here involving students, which most of you will be here. And it's very similar to the other units, but we only have time to look at this unit. What I want to say to you is that being 5 years old, this building is subject to the most complete and update ASHRAE standards. ASHRAE stands for the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers. So we are up to a modern standard. And I use the best technician that I know of. He does all the cool places here in Central Mass, and Jeff is the best. And we're so glad to have him and their company on board. So given that, I'm going to be opening up some doors and just showing you what this unit can do, what it's all about. A footnote, we have not done an exhaustive study to quantify the air changes that exactly occur within your space. I can only quantify and tell you and testify, whatever you want to use for that word, that this is built to a modern ASHRAE standard. And if it didn't give requisite air to a space, we couldn't have opened the building. So with that said, let's open some doors and understand a little bit about this unit. How am I doing, Liz?
Wonderful!
Okay, I need a little push back on that. So what we have here, and can you see that as best you can? What we have is a large 20 horsepower motor. This is our exhaust fan. Very large impeller, you see it's double belted. Up above it you see incoming air with initial stage of pleated air filters. That's just to catch the larger particulates. So you see the size and the strength of these systems that are very robust, bringing in and exhausting air. The intake motor is actually down on the other end. This one brings air out through here. So that's very important to know. The next door number 2. What you're looking at is a very large energy wheel. It's how we keep up to a standard of efficiency regarding energy. So exhaust air is coming through here and out that chute. Exhaust air has value and heat in it. So when this wheel turns, and it turns very rapidly, it's capturing the heat of the air coming, the stale air coming from your classrooms, coming up to here and incoming air is capturing that heat and taking it back into the building. Now, when we talk about Wednesdays, which will be deep cleaning days, what we'll do is actually run these units with a couple of doors open and use one of our disinfectants that's food safe. It uses lactic acid and citric acid, and we'll treat the energy wheel. We'll let the system run through and dispel and disperse that disinfectant amongst all the chutes. So they'll be all the ductwork, so they'll be disinfected. We'll do that for about 5 minutes, and that should give us a thorough disinfection of those surfaces. So energy wheel, remember that when we're thinking about how much energy we're using. I want you to think about how much energy we're saving. Now this is very important. This is a top of the line cam fill air filter. This is MERV 14. Most schools are struggling for a MERV 13. Hospitals can use this type. You can see the pleats, see the huge amount of air surfaces these provide. That's what we're using. These are rated to go without pre-filters. Normally a pre-filter.
Another one.
Normally a pre-filter would go in this rack, but we really don't need that because these will last a year. What we pledge to do for you is change them 3 times a year, okay? They'll be changed 3 times a year. And I want you to know that. They seal very tightly in between each other because they're gasketed. So there's very little chance that a lot of air is going to get around these. Another thing I want you to know that we're going to be doing is adding ionization racks in here to electrostatically charge the area where airflow is most prevalent just ahead of these filters. What that's going to do is cause small particles like viruses to stick to larger particles and be more readily captured in these filters. So that will be done very soon. Technically it's not been voted on. I can't see yet, so I can't see our people saying no, because this is an important addition, but that's coming up and should be finished within about a month and a half. So that's coming up. I'm glad Sizer is considering that and willing to spend that money because it's important. Intake motor, 20 horse, huge squirrel cage blower, double belts, very robust, and this just has the heating coil. This isn't anything I need to talk about. I'm just showing you what's here. Now this is worth talking about. This are our electronic controls for our DizTech building management system or energy management system. We can dial in anything we need to. Now I'm going to tell you, I know that 3 of your classrooms with this unit are suffering from chronic overheating in the wintertime. That is a radiation and occupancy sensor problem that I promise you we're going to fix this one. Okay? You know, if I get on something, I'm like a dog with a bone. We will fix that this winter. But it is not symptomatic of this unit sending in overheated air to you. This unit constantly sends in a lot of air and air changes. And you know how important that is for that. When I asked Jeff, our technician, who has 2 little girls, 6 and 4, I said, your little girls are going to go to school, and he just interrupted me and said, my daughters don't have anything like this. They're relying on an open window. He said, I'd love to have this system for my kids. That's all I need to hear. So on the end we have a large compressor and 2 smaller compressors that are staged to give you cooling. This has been running pretty much flawlessly. Remember, we shut everything down in March, and you know, the filters, as you saw, are really clean. So, you know, we're due to change them in probably about 2.5 months because they haven't been running. So this system is up and running and ready to serve you. Can you pan around and just show the other 3 units?
Yeah.
Those are out of 3 units. They're all by Daikin. And that large gray unit on the end of the gym is part of a split system that delivers air conditioning. I've had that running for 2 days. Jeff has made a relay fix on that, so air conditioning to the gym should be non-stop now. And I'm not crossing my fingers as I say that. Let's walk over here and show the size of this, because I've got something to say about the size. Most of our systems, if not all of them, are slightly oversized. What I can compare this to, if I put a fifth wheel hitch on it, it would almost be as big as Brenda Jones's fifth wheel camper. Now I know she's going to say, no, mine's bigger, but what's a few million cubic feet amongst friends? With that said, I appreciate all your concerns, all your questions regarding anything HVAC, anything maintenance-wise. I know for some of you, I know for all of us, this will be a difficult year. I also know that routines may be out somewhat. Sense of well-being, that may be different from all of us. But my door is always open. And if I can answer a question for you that will help get you through your day, please call me, email me, come down for a visit. Welcome to Facility Safety Nomenclature Part 2. These are Codal Clear hand sanitizers in the gallon portions. We did not go with hands-free because they don't tend to put out enough. And when the kids come back, I know we had them before, but when the kids come back, they will be used 50 times as much. And if they're going to pump them or use them 2 or 3 times each person, 150 times as much, and they're not robust enough. These are robust. I know what you're saying. I'm putting my hand on a dirty dispenser, but you're immediately cleaning your hands. These will be cleaned by someone during the day, about 4 times a day at least. So we will pay attention to these. What we chose for, and I know you guys all know about disinfecting foggers, what we chose was the Counter-Strike plug-in, and the reason I chose this is it puts out more product. So we can move a little faster, put out more product, and it just is going to be a very robust design. The batteries, you know, they have to be filled with product more often. And this I can do 4 classrooms in one spot. I just plug it in once and do 4 classrooms. The bathrooms will be done with these 2. The disinfectant we're going to be using for the classrooms is by Betco. It's called Fight Back 2. It's food safe. It's relatively safe for people because it only uses citric acid and lactic acid, both of which is found in your body.
Woohoo!
At any rate, this is what we'll be using. So you've heard me talk about that specific disinfectant. That's for classroom use. And in the bathroom use, we'll use a more stock and trade multi-spectrum disinfectant, just because there's more things we definitely need to kill with the use that typically is involved in a restroom. We're not going to,
What about cleaning the floors?
yeah, cleaning the floors. What we're adopting this year is hook and loop flat mop systems typically used in hospitals. The reason they're used in hospitals is you take a pre-saturated pad, put it on a head and a handle, use it, peel it off, throw it in a bag to be laundered, and start with a new one. So 1 pad per classroom, and that's how we're going to clean, just because it segregates exposures and it provides a good clean in that it's hook and loop. Microfiber, looped in microfiber, it'll do a great job. You know what I'm going to suggest that with the cleaning of the desk and chairs, maybe specialized touch surfaces before class change, that we embark, and I'll cover this in another video, that we embark on a simple project that utilizes a paper towel, sawed in half to make 2 rolls of paper towels, with simple dispensers with slits cut in their lids like a coffee container or whatever. We give you a requisite amount of the food safe disinfectant, and when you need these, you and the students can just make them up. It's only going to take 5 minutes and 2 students, and you'll be able to keep these supplies with you. We won't be breaking the bank. And I'm not here worried about money. What I'm worried about, what I'm promoting is buy-in. Get the students involved. Get them to understand why they're as much responsible or part of the solution as all of us. We talk about the Sizer community. I'm just trying to preserve and enhance that community. And the small project could go a long way with that. So that's what I'll be promoting.
And there we have it, folks. That's how we're going to be keeping Sizer as safe and as clean as possible from a physical standpoint. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the bottom of this link. Also, please feel free to join the Google Classroom, where I'll be putting up a lot more of the resources for us to be able to use. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next week on the Nurse's Corner.